Okay, guys. Episode 4. Sorry. I started this before and I accidentally said episode 3, but we are on 4. Okay. So, I believe we left off last episode with Yan Chi-woo yelling at Donghua. He's pissed. He's thrown out of Taichen Palace after doing all those chores, and Donghua's like, haha, I never told you. I never promised. What are you? I'm not gonna fight you. No. So, we start off with Yan Chi-woo going to Nye Chuyin. That's how Google says it is pronounced, so you can correct me if you need to. But he goes to him for help. He's like, how do I get him to fight me? Now, we already know Chuyin is a sketchy dude. But this, I think, is when you really realize just how sketchy of a dude he is. Just how deep it goes, because he tells him, go steal the soul-locking jade. Which in and of itself is like, okay, no, don't do that, like, we know. But he tells Yan Chi-woo that the soul-locking jade is what blocks evil monsters from being on Earth. Which is a total lie. We know what the soul-locking jade is for. We know who it's locking up. Now, I don't know if this was part of the plot, if one of them is doing this, or if the... I forgot the main bad guy's name. If she's doing something, like if she knows somebody's going to go after the jade, but something starts happening in where she's trapped. Was it the Miaoyi chasm? And Donghua notices, so he goes to check it out, which leaves the opportunity for the soul-locking jade. So Yan Chi-woo disguises himself as Donghua, and Weiguang does the perfect imitation of Yan Chi-woo. Because he looks like Weiguang, but he's still walking. Like, he has that, he has a distinguished, like, walk. I can't even copy it, but he's doing that. And it looks hilarious. But he goes in and obviously steals the jade. Which I think Donghua feels. So, even when he's over checking on... Gosh, I need to look up her name. The bad guy. Like, he knows once somebody touches the jade, and he runs right back. And all of his guards are like, wait a second, weren't you just here? Which, I was like, why do they have to be punished for not knowing it was him? Like, it was just... Anyway. I don't know. So, that successfully pisses off Donghua. Which I'm gonna assume, I don't know if that's a hard thing to do or not, because he never shows any emotion. But he succeeded, and so Yan Chi-woo has his fight. And Yan Chi-woo has the new nickname of Poker Face. I still like Ice Face better, but Poker Face is the new nickname that he's calling him, at least in this episode. So everybody else notices something going on as well, including Fengju and Zaihe. And here we get to see just how far Zaihe is willing to go for her jealousy. Because when she finds Fengju noticing what's going on over there, Zaihe sees the little hairpin that Donghua commented on before, and her jealousy comes over her, and she's gonna stab Fengju. And Fengju doesn't even know. She's still paying attention to whatever's going on. And Chenggu, if she hadn't have showed up when she did, Fanju would be dead. But she shows up just in time, and she questions Zaihi. She like really puts her in her place. Thank goodness. But it turns out Chengyu was coming to tell Fanju, this is your chance. Because, you know, they've been waiting. They like wait for a chance when he needs help. This is the chance. So, Fanju gets to go help. Let's see. Oh yeah, Yanchu. I'm like, you can tell he's not the brightest star just because he thinks he's better than Donghua, but I'm like, you know, Donghua is like extremely good fighter. And of course, Yanchi was getting his butt kicked. But I guess it shows just how far you will go for jealousy again. There's a lot of jealousy going on here. And at one point, when Yanchi Wu's like, there's a sword coming at me, he takes the jade and he blocks the sword with the jade, and the sword stabs the jade. Which then like opens up this like evil land. I don't know, I guess it's maybe where all those souls are trapped, and it takes Donghua in with it. And I gotta say, that's like the coolest fight scene. I absolutely love it. We're fighting all these evil souls. It's so cool. I think it's one of the best ones in the whole series. So, Fanju shows up after this happens, and after Yan Qiwu leaves. And Yi Chuyen was actually watching the fight, and he sees her show up, and he sees like her tails show up, and he sees them, and we know he loves fur. So he comes over and he's like, okay, I want your fur, and you want in this jade to help him. You don't have enough cultivation, so let's trade. 3 years. I can have your fur for 3 years. And you can go in this jade and I'll give you my powers. So she doesn't question it. She's like, okay. And I mean, I guess she doesn't know him. We do. We're like, don't do it, but she does it. And in exchange, he just gives her regular fox fur. So she cannot turn back into human form. She cannot talk. No magic. But it does get her into the jade, and she also kicks butt in that little fox form. And the graphics are actually amazingly good, I have to say. She's like fire-breathing fox, and while she's doing that, another person shows up to the jade. Now we get to see more of Jiang. She came to stop the fight because she heard about it, but obviously she's too late, and she falls into the jade as well. It's called the 10 Evil Lotus Land, I guess is what it's called. But there's so many of those evil spirits. Donghua finally makes this protective barrier, and so he can get his cultivation back, so he can get everybody out of there. So during this whole time that they're in there, you can tell Donghua likes this fox. I mean, we've already seen he likes animals in general already, but I mean, I don't know, he thinks there's something, you can tell he thinks it's special. Especially, it came and saved him, I mean, or tried to save him, so he definitely thinks it's special. And she thinks this is the best thing in the world because she gets to be close to him. Like, she gets to be held by him, and then I thought this was hilarious. I'm like, okay, here we go again. But she's like, oh, I wonder what it's like to kiss him. And so she kisses him in her fox form, which is hilarious. And he opens his eyes and was like, she's kind of like, just kidding. But okay. She has a tummy ache the next day, I think from eating too many sweet potatoes. And Donghua tells Jihang and the fox that it's because the fox is pregnant. Because something about the Fox clan, and you know, she was, I forget the word, but now she's pregnant and she's so worried. I'm like, you jerk. It's, I don't know, it's half funny, half mean to me. Let's see. While this is all going on, we get to go see the demons again. I forgot the leader of the Red Demon Clan's name too. I need to write these all down so I can have them here when... But he is so mad that Jiang has left, and Min-Su let her go, or at least he didn't notice, and so he's like, okay, you're gonna be punished. And he sends him to this, what is it, Baishui Mountain? You know what, I had the pronunciation to that written down, but I don't know where. Which apparently is a very dangerous place, so... that's just a side note. So we know what Jiang is gonna find when she comes back. So... once they get out, Donghua finally gets enough cultivation, they get out of the Lotus Land. Jihang loves this little fox. She's been helping to nurse it and absolutely loves it. And she's like, okay, I have one thing to ask from you. Let me have this fox. And I don't know, maybe any other gentleman would have been like, of course, but he... You know, I'm thinking just companionship maybe. Because he is alone a lot. He's like, no, my fox. And she's just begging him, no, just a month, two, you know, a couple of weeks. And he walks away with the fox, which is good for Fangju. She's happy about it. She's like, oh, thank you so much for taking me away. And once they get back to the palace, Donghua has to go somewhere. So he leaves her there with, I'm so bad with names today, guys. His assistant. I'm so sorry. I'll get names down soon enough. I'm really bad with names, but because he has to go somewhere. So he's like, take care of the fox. And the fox, Fangju, starts crying because crying usually gets her what she wants. And then Donghua, I'm like, I was wondering if it was translated wrong, because he's like, okay, what I like to do the most is make people cry, which I can believe. And that was translated, how come you cry louder? But I'm thinking maybe it was supposed to be, you know, I like to make people cry, so why don't you cry a little louder, is what I think. That's what I think they were trying to come across as saying, but maybe it just kind of got lost in translation there. That's just my opinion though. And then of course, Jiang finds out that Min-Su is gone. And we are left with Min-Su being dropped off at that Baishui Mountain and being attacked by some swarm of red things. I didn't get a close enough look to see what they were, but so we're left with her being attacked, and we don't know what's gonna happen. So I tried to make it a little shorter. I left out quite a few parts, just stuff that weren't to me like super main points, because I'm trying to make these more of a summary and more of a just, you know, hit the main points and in the main characters and whatnot. So hopefully that was okay. Seriously, you should watch this. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I'm actually starting to watch the one before it, the just Eternal Love, and it's interesting. I think I might do that one next, although this is going to take a while. There's like 64 episodes, but it'll be interesting to compare the two because the stories are kind of different. So anyway, episode 4. All right then. So, comment, like, subscribe. I have social media down in the description. You can contact me. You can say hi. I'd love to make friends, especially foreign friends. I love foreign countries. Since I'm going over Chinese stuff, definitely Chinese people. I'd love to know more. And just a note, I've only got like 7 followers on this channel, so it's not been a problem on here, but on my other channel it has been a problem. So I will just put it out there right now. When you message me, I've had a lot of people asking for a relationship or sending inappropriate pictures. If you send any appropriate pictures, I will block you. And as for a relationship, I'm like, you know what, unless you're like Weiguang, then no, I'm not in the mood. I'm not necessarily in the mood. I'm not in the market for a relationship right now. I'm very tired of relationships at the moment. Kind of at the giving up, don't care point at the moment. So, that being said, still stop by and say hi. I would love to make friends. And that's it for this time. So, see you on the next episode.